we happen to have a wholesale place. 30 years ago, we grew the best Macintosh you could get in New England. Now we grow more inedible, fermentable apples than anybody else in the country, plus a few Macs for the locals. And so we've been through a big transformation, which was entirely market-driven because we did not want to give up the land and we did not want to stop growing fruit, but it was impossible to stay in commodity apples for the duration. So we basically changed everything as fast as woody plants would allow us to do so. Well, it's fermentation. I mean, the thing about cider is a very plain little word the world around. Cider is to apples as wine is to grapes, except here, because we had our little prohibition problem some years ago, and that produced an enormous public relations effort on the part of the apple people, who before that had been growing most of the apples in the country for fermentation, but all of a sudden that was a big dirty secret. So that's when Mom, apple pie, keeping the doctor away, and so on, became the popular cry, and when the word cider was applied to the fresh, temporary, delicious, but not citrus apple juice of fall. This is when I start to be a cider kvetch, because we actually, since it starts for us with the land and the fruit, what we planted were real cider apples, some of which still existed in the States, many of which we had to go to Europe for the DNA, because their tradition was uninterrupted. And the fact is, these apples are very tannic. And so there's a lot of red wine character, astringency and bitterness and so on, as well as the fruity complexities. Also, it's only in the States that fall and the word cider are linked in people's minds, because that's when we're pressing the apple juice. But it's no more rational than only drinking Bordeaux when they're picking grapes in Bordeaux. In fact, the world around, they drink 3 times more cider in the summertime, because it's complex, it's satisfying, and it's lower in alcohols. And the whole, it's refreshing, it's appetizing. It makes a lot of sense in hot weather. So we've been trying to persuade Mr. and Mrs. America of that for quite a long time, and it's finally starting to work. And we make a summer cider, actually, Astor Wines, if you want to try that sometime, for the express purpose of showing people that this is the fact.